Do you see my screen?
Yes. Please open salesforce.com.
Please open salesforce.com.
Yeah, on this page now don't click on login. Go to products.
Products.
Okay, in the products, do you see pricing?
Yes, I'll see here.
Okay. Click on this.
Click on pricing.
Yeah. See, these are the different editions which are provided by salesforce.com. Group, professional, enterprise, performance.
4 things.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So these are the different things, different editions which are provided by Salesforce. So I'll just quickly explain to you what all these editions are for. So before we talk about edition, let's understand one thing. See, Salesforce can have different types of clients, right? Some can be small businesses, big businesses, and the requirements can also be different. So every business will not have same requirements. Some business will just have a few requirements, some of them will have more requirements and all, right?
Right.
So what happens there, basically, depending on the requirements, a company decides to pick up the edition. So edition decides what features will be available to you, right? So for example, we just take an example. We were just comparing these CRMs to the cars, and we said that okay, fine, there are car manufacturers. Suzuki is there, and then we have Hyundai, and we have others. Now think of it. Any manufacturer, do they provide just one type of car? No. They will have a small one, they will have a big one, they will have an SUV, they will have a luxury car.
For each segment, they will have different varieties.
Right, exactly. So the same way they have different, types of editions. The Salesforce.com have different editions. Small businesses might need a little lesser features, and they would want to pay less. So if you see group edition, $25, few features. Professional edition, $65, a few additional features. Enterprise, $125 per month per user, a little extra features. Performance edition, $300 per user per month, all the features, right? Unlimited number of features. So that is how it is, right? So these are different editions which are available on Salesforce. So I'll try and explain things to you. Just give me a minute. Let me share my screen. Okay. So can you see my screen?
No. I don't see your screen. Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay.
Group addition.
Yeah. So here we have the group addition. Group addition is designed for small businesses and work groups. Okay. With a limited number of users. This is specially designed for small businesses and work groups. The number of users with group addition is limited number. So if you can see on that screen that I asked you to open, there can only be 5 users on the group addition. Okay. And this group addition offers access to accounts, contacts, opportunity, lead cases, dashboards and reports. So this is what is provided by group addition. Okay. So this is meant for small businesses. Okay, the size of business where is up to 5 users.
Okay.
Then is the professional edition. Now, professional edition is designed for businesses who need full-featured CRM functionality. Okay, so designed for businesses who need full-featured CRM functionality. Includes straightforward and easy-to-use customization. This includes straightforward and easy-to-use customization, and so a bit of customization is allowed here, and integration can be done. Simple integrations can be done with some other tools and can facilitate any small to mid-size deployment. So this professional edition can facilitate small to mid-size deployments also. Then is the enterprise edition. Enterprise edition is designed to meet the needs of large and complex businesses. Enterprise edition is designed for large and complex businesses. It has advanced customization and admin tools, can support large scale deployments. So it supports large scale deployments, include access to web service API. So integration can be done through web services and APIs, and you can easily integrate with back office systems. Then comes the unlimited edition or the performance edition, what you see there. That includes all enterprise edition functionality, premier support, full mobile access, unlimited custom apps, increased storage limit and more. Right. So functionality wise, the enterprise edition that you see and the performance edition that you see are same. Okay. The CRM functionality wise, both of them are same. Functionalities provided are same. The difference between the enterprise and performance is, in performance you have increased storage limit. Your storage limit will be more. You can create unlimited applications. You will have a premier support because you will be a premier customer. So these are the advantages that you will get if you take the performance edition. But what you can actually do feature wise, functionality wise will be same as enterprise. That is the reason why enterprise edition is the most popular thing there. If you see on that page, it says enterprise edition is the most popular one. Because spending $125 you are getting the same functionality, spending $300 also you will get the same functionality. So why would you go for that $300? You will rather stay with $125, right?
Alright.
So the $300 is for premier support and all that stuff, and all these big companies, they go for performance edition because they do not have any worry about the money, so they don't worry about the money part and all. So these are 4 editions which we see on the page, right? There is one more edition which is not visible on the page, which you cannot see here, which is a developer edition. Okay.
Okay.
So developer edition is this one. It includes all enterprise edition functionality. Developer edition, why they have not listed it on the page? Because that is the pricing page, okay, of the Salesforce editions. Now developer edition is something which is free of cost, okay, and it includes all enterprise edition functionality. No, this is not the right slide for developer edition. Okay, I'll show you the other slide for developer edition. Give me a minute. Yes. So see, developer org, the one that you already have, one, it is free of cost, right? So that is the reason why they have not put it in that pricing list. So this developer edition environment is where you develop Force.com application for free. Got it? So this is something that you have created. The developer edition comes with a number of applications pre-installed. So by default, you will get some pre-installed applications on that, including Salesforce CRM application like sales, call center, marketing, and ideas. In case you want to build extensions to these. Okay, so pre-installed applications come in the developer edition. Developer edition is actually meant for developers who want to learn Salesforce and who want to do the development. So for them, they have provided this environment. So this is an open environment for any developer who wants to learn it. Fine. So you already have created a developer edition. Now, what do you get with a developer edition? When you create a login on developer edition, what do you get? You get 5 MB of data storage. So it provides you with the environment, and it gives you 5 MB of data storage. Provides you 20 MB of file storage attachments. So you can store up to 20 MB of attachments, and you get 2 Salesforce CRM licenses. Okay. Now the question is, when does your developer edition expire? Yesterday we were talking a 30-day trial, and now we are talking about developer edition, right? So developer edition organization continues to be available as long as these organizations have some type of activity within the previous 6 months. So your developer edition will not expire till the time you keep it inactive for 6 months. If it is completely inactive for 6 months, then it will expire. So the good thing about developer edition is that you can use it as long as you want. You can learn on it. And this is the best thing that you have, because any other technology, would have a 30 days or max 45 days trial period. Now, 30 days is not good enough for you to, complete the course, do the training, learn everything from your side and go for the job, right? So this developer edition will help you in doing this. So till the time you do not have this inactive for 6 months, it will not expire. Even if it expires, you can create another one, but it will not expire as such. So I've been using developer editions for 4 years, 5 years, which are still there with me. So not expired.
So which means you should do some activity within 6 months.
Within 6 months. I mean, ideally, anyone who has not touched it for 6 months, it's good they, close that account.
Right.
Because what happened is earlier there was no such concept of developer edition getting expired and all. 2 years back they never talked about this. They straight away said that developer edition will be for your life, will never expire. What has happened is a lot of people have created developer editions and they have kept it like this. You create a developer edition and after that you create another one and you just keep the previous one. Now what is happening? Because it's all on cloud, it is consuming a lot of space from Salesforce.com. So a lot of ideal developer editions are there which are not being used, have not been used in last 6 months or so. So the Salesforce guys started thinking of how do we get rid of those accounts. That's unnecessary burden, right? No one is using, not active for 1 year, 2 years. So that is how it is. So for that reason what they have done is they have now introduced this concept that if you don't use it in 6 months it will expire, right?
Okay.
Now the point is, what features do we get in developer edition? Developer edition almost provides you all the features of an enterprise edition. Okay. So everything which is possible on Salesforce can be done through developer edition. There is nothing which is possible on Salesforce and cannot be done through developer edition. Everything can be done. Now the next question that you might be thinking of is, if everything can be done on developer edition, then why will people go and buy the paid one? Why would people buy a paid edition? A free edition.
Because in Salesforce we have only 2 CRM licenses. We need some more licenses.
That is absolutely correct. You might need more licenses, and the 5 MB data storage is very less. It can work for you for testing things, but for actual database, if you have 5 MB will mean how many? 150, 180 records can be saved overall.
That's it.
So 180 records, any business will have more than that, right?
Right.
So for that reason, they have actually given a developer edition with a limited data storage. Just go ahead and use this. That is what they say. Go ahead and use this thing. And if you like it, then adopt it or suggest your clients to adopt this. So that is the strategy. So this developer edition concept also made them pretty popular, right? Because a lot of people can learn Salesforce through developer edition. There are not too many people who can learn Microsoft Dynamics as easily as they can learn Salesforce.com because of this developer edition. Got it?
Yes.
All right. So that's about the editions. Now let me again make you the presenter. Now please log in into your developer edition. Let us understand the system a little well.
Do you see my screen?
Yes. Just log to Salesforce. Click on login and say login. Yes. On your developer edition that you created yesterday.
Okay. Do you see my screen?
Yes. So you just go to your top right corner, drop down.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you click on this, you see a menu which appears, right? Drop down menu, sales, call center, marketing. These are all applications. These are all apps. Okay.
Yes.
That's one thing. Now, if you click on this, help link, that will take you to the help. Don't click on that, not required now. If you click on the setup button, click on setup. In the left hand side, you see the menu.
Yeah.
Yes. This is the setup menu.
Setup search. You
No. This complete menu you see in the left hand side. This is the setup menu.
Administer,
build, all these things. Okay, so this is the setup menu. Then you see your name. Just click on your name. Then click on my settings.
My settings.
So this is all our personal settings. My settings. Okay, so setup is where you will control. Setup is the section where mostly administrators and developers will come and control things. My setting is where an end user can do his personal setting, change your name, password, that sort of things, right?
Okay.
So these are the menus which are available. All these that you see, home, chatter, campaign, lead, these are all tabs. These are all called tabs.
Where?
You see the tab panel, home, chatter, campaigns, leads, accounts, contacts, opportunities.
Yeah.
These are all tabs. Okay. Now each
Are
tab.
they all tabs or they are called objects?
No, these are all tabs. Each tab is
connected between tab and object.
Object is the table, data table. Okay. And object is something which is at the back end. tab is the connector. Okay.
Okay.
You have a fan at your place, and then you have a switch to the fan. You have a fan,
Yes.
and you have a switch of the fan.
Yes.
So is the switch and fan same thing? No, right?
No.
Not the same thing, right? But switch is used to connect to the fan. Same way. Object means a database table, but this is not a database table what we see here, right? So this tab is a connector to the table which is there in the backend, which is there on the server. Got it? So if you click on campaigns tab, it connects you to the campaigns table. Then you can actually start entering data into that. So that is the difference between a tab and an object.
Okay.
Got this thing?
Yes.
Okay. So this is just a button with the name of the object, but this is actually not the object.
This is actually a tab.
This is just a tab. Okay. And this is more of a user interface thing. There is this pattern which is followed in Salesforce, which this MVC platform. Have you heard of MVC platform?
No.
MVC stands for Model View Controller. Okay, so in MVC platform, basically an application has three layers. One is model, one is view, one is controller. So Salesforce works on that MVC platform, and it has three layers of the application. The model layer is the data model part. View is the front end interface, and controller is the controller of the application, between the front end and the back end. So model is the data model at the back end, view is the front end interface, controller is the controlling logics. What happens when you click on a button and all those things? The back end logics, right? Neither in the front end nor in the back end, something which is connecting the front end with the back end. Got it? Okay. So that is our MVC platform. Now, okay, so this tab and all these things, what you see, the tab is a part of view and the object is a part of model. Got it? So object is in the back, tab is in the front.
Tab is in the front end.
Tab is in the front end, no? There is something that you can see. And
Okay.
object is in the back end. So that is the difference. Clear on that?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Right. So now you can click on any tab and then you can enter the data inside the Salesforce. That part can be done. Right?
In home?
No, not on home. The campaigns, leads, accounts, you can click on any one of them and you can enter the data into that.
And then press new.
Yeah.
Okay. Lead status. So, do I need to fill up everything or only few things?
No, it's fine. I mean, you can just leave it.
Because the ones which are in red are
Required.
mandatory, right?
Right.
Yes.
So just fill in whatever information you feel like and save it. So that is one thing. Now the other thing that we are going to talk about is the security aspect. How does Salesforce? So we have understood the UI on the Salesforce, right? The applications, the setup, and the tabs and all, right?
Yes. Do you still see my screen?
Yeah, I see your screen. So I'll share. Tell me.
After I have saved this, what do I do next?
No, nothing. So you have now learned how to create records into the system, right? So you want to create a campaign record. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this way you can create records.
Okay. So in this developer edition, you can store only about 150 to 180 records, right?
Yeah. I mean 5 MB, whatever is 5 MB. So it depends on how much data you are entering into each record. So if you enter lesser data into each record, then you may store 300, 400 also. So that is how it is.
Right. Right.
All
I
right.
don't see your screen.
I'll just share my screen. Give me a minute. Okay. So we have understood that part. Now the next thing that we are going to talk about is the security and identity confirmation. What is the security and identity confirmation? This talks about what Salesforce does when anyone tries to log in into Salesforce. When a person tries or attempts to log in into Salesforce, what does Salesforce do? So say it does a simple security process. Okay. So what is that process? Someone does a login attempt. Okay.
Okay.
Before we talk about this process, before you start looking into this process, for security, security is a big challenge for any company or any client who is using Salesforce, right? Why security is a big challenge? Because the internal users, people who are working in your company. So one threat is there that someone who is not in your company can misuse it, can get the password and all those things. Other challenge is the people who are within the company, they can also misuse it, right?
Right.
The big challenge is that. The bigger challenge in fact is that what to do with the internal users. Sometimes some companies have that challenge, right? So in that case, what Salesforce allows you to do is, they give you an option of restricting your users by the time and the IP address. So what you can do is you can define a timeline that okay, users can log in only from 9 to 6 and not beyond that. So in that case, what will happen? Anyone who tries to log in after 6 PM will not be allowed to log in. So let's say your office timing is 9 to 6, then you can allow your users to log in only between 9 and 6. And anyone trying to log in before 9 or after 6 will not be allowed to log in. So that is how Salesforce allows you to restrict users. That is an option that you have. That's not mandatory. You have an option, you can restrict your users by the time. Other option that Salesforce provides you is, you can restrict your users by IP address. IP address means you can define a range of IP address and you can say that okay, the users from this IP address should be allowed to log in quickly or easily, and the users with other IP addresses should not be allowed. So that is the thing. So that can be done. Got it?
Right.
So now, what happens when a user tries to log in into Salesforce? What kind of a check Salesforce does from its side? Let us understand this thing. So it's a very simple thing. A user attempts to log in, okay, tries to log in into Salesforce. So Salesforce does a time check. First thing that Salesforce does is, it does a time check. So first thing it will do is, it will check your login password, credentials are alright or not. If the credentials are alright, it will go and check what time you are trying to log in. Are you allowed to log in that time? Okay. If it sees that you are not allowed to log in during that time, then the login attempt will fail and your access will be denied, right? And if it sees that you are logging in the right time, then it will go to the next level of check, right? So if your time check fails, your access is denied, else you go into the next step where it does an IP check. So the next thing that it will check is it will go and check the IP address. The IP address from which you are logging, is that the correct IP address or is it the wrong IP address? If it is the correct IP address, it will pass and your login will be allowed. If it is not the correct IP address, if it is something which is not the defined IP address, then this test will fail. So when IP address test fails, it does not deny access, it rather takes you to the next level of check, which is called cookies check.
What is this?
Cookies check. Cookies check is internet browsing history check. So it goes and checks in your browsing history. Let's say you are trying to log in into your Salesforce from your home computer. Okay. Now your home computer's IP address is not defined in your system. Salesforce will go ahead and do a check on your internet browsing history. Browsing history we understand, right? So it performs a check on the browsing history to check if you have logged in using that same computer and same IP address prior to that or not. If it finds in the browsing history that you have logged in from that, then still it will allow you to log in, then it will pass. If it does not find any information in the browsing history which says that you have already logged in, then it will ask you for an activation code. Correct? Activation code can be received either on your mobile or on your email. So it will ask you to validate your system by providing the activation code. Got that system? So this is the process which goes on. So any time any user logs in into Salesforce, time check happens, after that IP check happens. Now IP check, even if you are trying to log in from an outside IP address, you have the option to log in if you have already logged in, or if you have the access to the registered mobile number or registered email ID, you can get the verification code and authenticate the system. So that can be done.
Okay.
Got this thing?
Yes.
Clear? Please tell me if you have any doubts or any questions here.
Suppose if you are at the cookie check, okay, and if you have passed the cookie check, you are just allowed to go in, right?
Yeah, your login is done.
So how come you have passed or failed in the cookie check, whether you have been using that IP address on that system?
Yeah.
Like that?
Have you used the same account from the same system? I'll give you a simple example. Let's say my office, for example, my office has defined an IP address. So IP address, what they will define will be the office IP address, right? They will not define my home computer's IP address.
Yes.
Today I am working from home. Now I will log in into my system. Okay. So IP address will not match. Today first time I am working from home. Okay. IP address will not match. Browsing history will not find any information. What I have to do, I have to authenticate my system by providing the verification code. So I have to receive a verification code in the registered email ID or the registered mobile phone, and then I have to authenticate the system. That is what I have to do, right?
Right.
Now what will happen here is, where it is, yeah. Now what would happen here is, when this activation thing is done, tomorrow when I try to log in, tomorrow again this check will fail. Let's say tomorrow again I am working from home. IP check will fail because my home IP is not included. Then it will come to the cookies check. In the cookies check, when it comes, it will see that okay, in the browsing history it will find that information that this guy actually tried to log in from this computer and he successfully logged in into this computer yesterday. So in the browsing history, if it finds out that you have already logged in from that system, it will allow you to log in. So then tomorrow I don't have to go to the activation step, it will allow me to log in from here. Correct?
Okay.
Are you hitting on something or typing on the keyboard or something?
No virus, especially.
Right. Okay. Alright, so clear on this part?
Yes.
Fine. So that's about the security and identity confirmation. Alright. Now I'll quickly show you about the setup changes and all. Just give me a minute. Alright. Now talking about the personal changes, okay, if in case you want to change your name, first name, last name kind of things, go to setup, click on my settings. In the personal, click on personal information and then change things like first name, last name, alias, email ID, nickname, phone, fax. So these changes you can make from here, right? If you want to change your password, you again need to go to my settings, and under my settings there's change my password option is there, right? You also have the option of changing your language and time zone. So these are all the options which are available to the end users. They can do these things, right? So this is your personal setup. Okay, so this is where you can actually go ahead and do your personal setup. Now then there is this option of company setup. So when any company has purchased Salesforce, the company setup also needs to be done, right? The way you have put in your name and details, you'll also need to put the company details into your Salesforce account. So how that is done? That is done through setup. Okay. So now, for example, I was just telling you that you should be making notes. So for example, we are talking these things, right? So we talked about personal setup. So you should just have this thing written in Notepad, something like this. Personal setup and the navigation for that. Navigation is my settings. Now company setup is what we are discussing. Navigation is from setup and company info. This kind of, so just write the topic and the navigation so that you can later on do the navigation on your own and see the topics. Okay.
Okay.
So this is how you should be writing. Okay. So for company setup, you should go to the setup, company profile, expand it and click on company information. Okay. Once you come to the company information, you will have the option of putting the details of the company. Okay, this is not the personal information. This is all company information. Okay.
Okay.
So for company information, there are a few things. For company setup, we have the basic info of company, which will be things like the name, phone, fax, website, name, phone, fax, website. Then you have the local info of the company. What is this local info?
You mean the location and all those things?
Yes. So below that address and all these things, you will see the local info. What is the location of the company, what language you want to use, what is the default language of your company. It can be English, Chinese, German, Spanish, whatever. The time zone of the company, which time zone the company works in, and the currency, which currency local are we talking about. So which currency the company deals in dollars or Australian dollars or Indian rupees or what. Okay.
Okay.
Now the next thing that we have to do here is the fiscal year. So you can set up the fiscal year for the company also. What is the fiscal year? Financial year of the company. So when does the financial year of the company start? Let's say it starts in April. Save it. Okay. Why do we need to set up the financial year or the fiscal year for the company? This is helped in reporting. So once when we go into reporting part, we will see that if you have defined the financial year or the fiscal year for the company, your reporting becomes easier. You can easily do the reporting with the fiscal year concepts. Okay.
Okay.
Business hours of the company can be defined here. You can define the business hours of the company. Now, what is this business hour concept? The timing when your team works. What time the team works. Okay. Why is business hour required here?
Timings.
No, not the login timings. This is different. Login timings will be done. I'll show you that option to you a little later. The login time. But business hours is basically what times my company's support is available for the clients. Okay. See, this is CRM, right? So in CRM we have talked about the support also. The customer support thing is also included in CRM, right? Customer might come back to you, ask for support and all. So this part talks about the support thing. So Salesforce provides an option of auto escalation. Okay, what is that auto escalation? If there is a case which has not been resolved within a defined timeline, it can be escalated. Okay.
What do you mean by escalated?
Escalations means sent to the next level of authority. For example, there is a customer complaint and your company wants to have a system that if a complaint is not resolved within 24 hours or 48 hours, it should be automatically escalated to the manager that it has not been escalated. Right, so that the employees actually work properly. They don't skip on the timelines and all, right?
Right.
So that sort of thing can be done automatically on Salesforce, and for that sort of escalation, these business hours are used in Salesforce. So you can define your business hours, and those business hours can be used for escalations. Got it?
Yes.
Then comes the holidays. Holidays are the days, you can define certain holidays, you can define recurring holidays and all. Holidays are the days when your company's support team is not available. So this can be Saturday, Sunday holiday, the weekly holidays, or it can be a one-time holiday. Whatever it is, you need to define the holidays so that the support team or the escalations do not happen on those dates. Got that logic? For example, if the escalation has to happen after 24 hours, if something is not resolved, it should not happen on a holiday because it should not count those 24 hours on the holiday. Any holiday, my support team was not available. Otherwise, what will happen if you don't define holidays? What will happen? All the cases will be escalated on Saturday or Sunday. At least Saturday, Sunday, all the cases will get escalated automatically because the team is not available. Who will go and close those? So for that reason, these holidays should be excluded. So for that reason, they ask you to define holidays, right? So for companies, I think these are the things that we have to do. We have to do now every company or every Salesforce or does not require it. In case your company requires, then you should do these things. Basic and local info is required by everyone. Fiscal year you will set in case you want to do reporting, and if you do reporting based on the financial year, financial quarters and all, fiscal year defining is important. Business hours in case you are providing support to your clients and there is a requirement of auto escalations. So based on business hours the escalations can be automated. And holidays only if you are using the business hours, then only holidays concept. So these two concepts will be used together. Got it? So this is about the company setup. Tell me if that is fine.
Yes, fine.
Easy? Okay. So these are the